What's up, guys? It's me, your girl CatCorelli, and this is episode 286 of my Cat Vibes series. Today I'm painting those violet flowers. I have no idea what these flowers are, but I do know that I made a little photo of them in March, sometime in March, I believe in mid-March. It's right off the lawn here where I live. And the thing that captivated me was apparently the violet in the flowers, but also the surrounding greenery, because it is kind of washed out in the back over there, and then it gets more intense and more yellowish because of the sunlight, and then it gets kind of deep bluish even, bluish and deep greenish here in the foreground. Plus, I've seen this as a challenge because painting up close tons of greenery with all the little leaves and grass and all that, I use it as an antidote to my propensity to go too far with details. I had this problem in the past. Just a couple of years ago, I was making these drawings with a ball pen, and I would go into that excruciating detail, like, down to the smallest dot, basically, with a 0.5 gel pen or a ball pen, 0.5, 0.4 even, God. And I had this thing going on for the longest time in my life when I would be so obsessed with the smallest details. And I kind of didn't like it because as I was working through a lot of my psychological issues, let's put it this way, and working out my past, through my past problems resulting from traumatic experiences, I figured that this obsession with the nitty-gritty, with the smallest details, these attempts to control what I draw or what I paint, this is actually not a good tendency. It constricts me, and it makes my art, it suffocates it, basically. And that's a reflection of me being suffocated within. So I know that there are artists who do amazing work with hyper precision work, with the nitty-gritty details and all that kind of thing. And, good on them. God bless them. If that's what they do and they feel free at the same time, that's good. But I personally didn't feel that it was me. I felt that I needed to go down that lane and I need to declutter and untangle that deep freeze state that was sitting within my psyche. And in order to do that, I had to go for challenging little studies and basically force myself to abandon those habits and go in the opposite direction deliberately and find the freedom that I sought, discover my breath, let's put it this way, discover my breath in loose painting. And I have to tell you, once I got a hang of it, I felt that it had an enormous therapeutic effect on me. I mean, everybody knows, I guess, right, at this point that art is very liberating and very therapeutic in itself, doing art, right? But I just really didn't expect such a profound effect. It really helped. And so the challenge here is I'm deliberately putting myself into this situation where I'm kind of inclined to go into the nitty-gritty little details, and I'm deliberately, on every brushstroke, every little brushstroke that I take, I'm deliberately not going there. You see what I'm doing here? Even the small brushstrokes that I'm making, they're not hyper-precise. I'm avoiding going there. I don't find myself falling into that hyper-realistic, attempts at hyper-realism. I'm kind of rerouting myself the other way. And of course, I'm enjoying myself in the process, because at this point, earlier, I still had that propensity, when I just started oil painting, or even when I was doing watercolors. And watercolors is something I was doing basically my whole life, occasionally. I had that inclination. Now, one of the reasons why I picked up oil paint oil painting in the first place, almost a year ago, is because I wanted to free myself. I wanted to liberate myself, and I wanted to express myself. So I didn't want to make it into yet another constricted art form. I think after oil painting, watercolor painting is going to be a lot more interesting, actually. I didn't paint in watercolors for a whole year at this point because I was so obsessed with oil paint, and I so love it. I so love it, and just the feel of this medium is so good. It feels so good that you can layer paint, and you can go really transparent if you want to, or you can do some interesting shading, or you can have texture. You know, you can paint thick, and you can dilute your paint with more oil maybe, or with more Gamsol, something like this. And sometimes I'm in kind of a watercolor mindset on some paintings, so I approach oil painting with the little bonuses from watercolor painting. In whichever case, it's very liberating. And for the most part, with this greenery, I'm deliberately forcing myself not to know what am I painting. I know that these are flowers, but I force myself not to obsess over, is that a little leaf? Is that a little petal? Whatever the heck that is. It doesn't matter. The whole painting should sing. That's what matters. The individual elements can be abstract. That's kind of the point. And here's the finished painting. It's going to be framed in a little while. I think I'll varnish it, put it into a baguette frame, a handmade baguette frame, and it will be available for sale. With that being said, thank you very much for being with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and you will hear me next time. Ciao.